instead I was using like looking the camera.
Alright, so I think we'll probably have it as, we'll talk about serious things and also talk about lighthearted things.
Lighthearted, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Alright. Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Mindless. Welcome to another episode of the Mindless Show. I'm just gonna get close up to you. Hi, how's it going? Today's topic, we're talking about death. Because that's fun, right? Yeah. Totally perfect task to talk about in comedy. Now, we do hope to talk lightheartedly about this, but have some serious overtime as well. My first guest today is Pink Salad. You may remember him as Celtic Druid Jr.
What?
And and Schmidlab, who is in every episode, secretly.
A lot of episodes. He hides underneath the couch.
So deaf.
What about him?
Yeah. When I originally came up with this topic for this episode, a lot of people were questioning how I was going to tackle it.
Yeah,
they were like, "Are you going to be completely serious about it? Are you going to joke around?"
We don't tackle topics here. We more just sort of look at them
And poke them with a long stick.
In this case, we're just going to examine death, the afterlife. Maybe have a little bit of talk about religion, mainly for the idea of what people consider to be the afterlife and stuff like that. That's what we'll talk about first.
afterlife.
The afterlife. So
we'll talk about the afterlife.
So afterlife of death.
I don't believe in
afterlife
it.
of life, because
Just like Santa, it's not real.
It's Christmas time.
Wait,
It is now.
Is that in shot?
Hopefully not. It probably will be. Yeah.
Because, well, the thing is, what happens when you die then is just...
Your body goes all mushy, and then you become one with the earth.
Unless you're, of course,
Burnt.
yes.
Then you become one with the air,
cremated.
and your relatives will breathe you in.
And
That's,
die.
no, well, if you're cremated and if you get lots of smoke and stuff, if you inhale it, you probably get very sick.
Yeah.
You know what I find really interesting? People think it's cheaper to cremate, but you've got to remember the idea that, like, it kind of, I don't think it actually really is, because at the same time you're still put into a coffin and then burned.
Yeah, it's less
No,
efficient.
depending on, like, you could arrange the ceremony in such a way so that you could be, like, you know, you could arrange the ceremony in such a way that you could be cremated without a coffin.
Yeah.
Dump
But like, you could always get your ashes spread in space.
Yes, that's the thing now, I believe.
Yeah, that's a thing though.
Just
Costs a couple thousand.
Yeah, but like, you're also polluting space.
Yes.
if the ashes don't go into orbit, I don't imagine you're polluting anything.
Well, you're polluting the natural orbit of space.
How annoying would it be if you shoot someone's ashes up into space and they hit the satellite and smashes, and you just got like this whole cloud of ash?
The way they do it is set up a bunch of them at a time and then spread them out everywhere. And then you're in space, but you're dead. So, okay.
Alright, so that's the afterlife of your body. What about the afterlife, like, spiritually? What do you guys think of that? Do you guys believe in
I hope there's something after all this.
I
Me too. I've done a lot.
I think it was Muhammad Ali.
Going on this show, I'm hopefully going to go somewhere nice.
I think it was Muhammad Ali commented saying that if there is an afterlife, he wants to be a part of it, you know.
Yeah.
So he didn't so much believe that there was one, but if there is one, you know, so that's why he chose to do good with donating to charities and whatnot after he retired.
Well, that was just part of his religion, really.
It may have been. I mean, I don't know what his religion was.
No, Muhammad Ali was Islam, and the whole thing is they're supposed to give to the poor.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Mainly for are you sure that he was Islamic? I don't know.
Are you sure about that?
No, he was. If you look at him, like 20 years later from when he first, look at him like when he first became a boxer, and then like the years before he died, he changed so much because of his religion.
Okay.
Devout guy.
It's interesting, but yeah. I mean, I even watched there's a show about, you know, how what do you call again, this is still on the Islamic front, I guess. Muslim front. That's what I should be saying. Because I personally have nothing really against religion. I just don't believe in the afterlife, so hence
the religion
why
is called Muslim.
I oddly criticize it.
People call it Muslim.
Yeah. But I think it's there was a show talking about how the women wear the headdresses and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
it was stuff up. a lot of people criticize
Yeah.
them for doing that,
Oh, why are we talking
but
about
they did talk about it because it's again it touches I'm getting there. There was a show I watched where one of the people was saying how and she actually was Islamic Muslim. I don't know exactly the terminology for it.
No, it's the religion is called Islam.
Yeah.
And the people
So
in it are
they're-
called
so the Muslims
Muslims.
are called
Or
Muslims.
I'm not sure the term Islamic. I'm not sure if that.
I just
that
I
might
thought
mean
it was
exactly the
just
same
to make it easier.
thing.
We may have to scrap this episode because like we could get.
Adam's shot here pictured is a Snoopy being stroked by.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Salad's
stroking
foot.
a dog with my foot, and like it's dead.
Anyway, so the idea is that what the person said is that the more clothes you wear, the higher like a level you can get to in heaven. So it's as if heaven is a tier system. So I just find it interesting that
How
one
devoted
religion,
you are.
Yeah, it's how devoted you are gets you to a higher level of
Like
of
same
heaven.
with Christianity, you have to be a very good person to go to heaven
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, and
you have to be a child.
that's why again there are so many
Yeah,
different
it's really
versions.
dark.
Like there are different spreads of like say Christianity and other kinds of religions because other people want to be able to get to a high level of heaven, but also want to be able to do this and that. So they kind of just getting around something.
It's like a reason to be a decent human being,
Yeah, and
apart from being a decent human being.
again, a lot of religion was pretty much based on because A, faith, and B, science, because people couldn't explain things, so they're like, oh, it's because of God.
Yeah, because humans have a natural like tendency to want to be able to explain things in any
Yes,
way
yes.
possible, and that's why religion comes about. You know.
I have a natural one to eat Pringles. Not sponsored.
Eat Pringles. Delicious, tasty, and nutritious. Please buy now for a low price of $9.99.
No, why? Geez, I got this for cheap.
I know. You can get them for cheaper. Is that the same Pringles we were using in that older episode?
No, we have like
Good.
20 of them in our back cupboard.
Oh, that was okay.
Don't ask me why. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we've got the afterlife. What about death in its many forms and ways? What do you think is the most fair way for
Fair
someone
way
to
for
die?
someone to die
Old age.
of their own choice. That's why
Yeah.
we're making euthanasia legal in this state, I believe. Well, there's things being put in motion for that to happen.
Yeah,
Because
that makes sense.
when it's under your control, I think it's probably the best way of doing it.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I had cancer and I couldn't fight it, then I'd probably want to die.
These days you can fight cancer.
No, you definitely can. I know people.
But by the time you have cancer, there'll probably be a way of stopping it.
But like, I know people who fought cancer, but I know people who have died of cancer. Like people who are actually related to me, and so it's just it's tricky to think what's best, you know. I don't know. It's interesting. Death is a odd idea. I mean, look, to an aspect, you still have to remember that it exists, and you have to a good thing to do in life is probably to accept the fact that death is there, but not to be a pessimist about life and whatnot. I mean, I kind of say that I say that kind of hypocritically because I'm known to be sometimes a pessimist.
Yeah.
So I prefer to see myself as a realist because I'm both an optimist and a pessimist. Because I'm a fucking human being. I have sad moments and I have happy moments. It happens.
The dogs are all the way. I can't stroke it anymore with my foot.
I have to lean forward.
Snoopy.
Come closer. Sorry, just talking about death, and then there's a cute dog in front of us. It's like
Yeah, it's
Take an image here.
take an image.
Take an image.
It's called footsies. It's fighting game terminology. Am I stroking him in the right place?
You're stroking.
It's just the side of your shoulder.
I can't reach his belly anymore.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Just all of this bit of us is just not doing anything. It's gonna be just photos of his dogs.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
This is strange.
This is strange and unsettling.
So 2016 was a year of celebrity death.
Yep.
Because David Bowie died, yeah.
Prince.
A lot of people
David Bowie.
died.
He's just one that comes to mind. But
Yes.
Yeah, most of them died at the age of 69 and stuff like that. They all died of different things or just being old?
I think it was very limited to how many people died of actual old age. A lot of people died of cancer. Some people died in accidents, like say Anton Yelchin.
Who was he?
He played Chekhov in the new Star Trek franchise.
Oh, him!
Yes.
Wow, that's way too
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, he was very young. And he's a good actor too. I've recently watched The Green Room, which is his last film, which is interesting in its own right because in connection to death.
Do you want to swap seats?
the film in its own right explores people's fight for survival, and it's a very graphic film, but it also covers death in an interesting way.
Yeah.
So what about film media?
Death in film. The latest Star Wars movie. I really want to talk about the death in that.
Rogue One.
Yes.
Rogue
Yeah,
One.
go for it.
Like,
By the time this comes out, a lot of people. It would have been out. Of
honestly, put a spoiler warning. But like,
Don't put a spoiler warning.
it's really obvious because it's a prequel, and all the characters see in it, you don't ever see. So it's a bit obvious.
It's mainly for the aspect that when you're watching A New Hope, they mention how when the people who got these plans, they sacrificed their lives to get it, and as shown in Rogue One, every character dies.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Like,
There's literally no character that doesn't survive except for
the characters who
except for the fact that you've seen in later films.
yeah. So all the characters you don't recognize are either dead or
Or this is a prequel / sequel to the current self. So like prequel to Darth Vader, but sequel to the guy who was in the prequel trilogy.
Yeah. But what was one of the main bad guys? The one in the grey is completely CG.
Oh wait, yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, Grand Moff
Yeah,
Tarkin.
Even though he doesn't even know what Grand Moff is.
His actor,
he passed away a long time ago.
his actor died a long time ago, and they've just CG'd him.
Which was interesting.
Because like most people couldn't tell, but like
I watched it.
like
The Princess Leia at the end, that fooled me completely.
Princess Leia looked like heavy makeup, but like it was either CG or heavy makeup.
I think it was both, because if you watch Tron Legacy, they've actually been able to use that technology before, like take an image of someone from 30 years ago. This was for Jeff Bridges, and use that and actually have that as a CG model on the face. Doesn't look too good in Tron Legacy, but in Rogue One it looks pretty good. The thing that I find really interesting is that I watched a review of Rogue One after I'd seen it, and the guy said that most likely the only people that will notice the fact that the guy is completely CG are those of whom know the actor is dead and are also old enough to have seen maybe even the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy. So people that are usually older than the age of 20 will know that this guy is completely CG'd in. Even like I'd forgotten that he had passed away. Like, I don't think I even knew that.
Really?
I didn't know that he passed away. A lot of people have died. Let's just put it that way. But I think I'd forgotten the fact that he had passed away, and so I was watching the film for like, there's something off about this guy, and I don't know what it is. I'm like, I can't believe they actually got the original actor. I'm like, no, there's something off about it. He looks off. And then when I said he's completely CG'd in, and you can somewhat notice that, I'm like,
I think they could have easily solved that by just showing the back of his head and limiting how these things work. Because they could have easily found someone who looked very, very similar.
That's literally what the guy from the review said. He's literally like, the scenes where you see the back of his head but you still see his face in the reflection, that was perfect. Because you couldn't tell that he was CG at all. If they had had more scenes like that, and even the guy who suggested they had to put in Darth Vader a bit more to cut out a lot more of this guy.
Yeah,
but
this
Darth
Vader's still all the actors are still alive.
But like Darth Vader is played by 3 different people at the same time, because one does the sword fighting, one does the actual walking and talking.
Wait, is it the same guy that's like there was like a really tall Scottish guy that did it in the original?
Like there's a guy that does the sword fighting, there's a guy that does the voice, and there's a guy that does all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And
Django Jones is the voice, and he even reprised his role, which is fantastic.
I know that's
but like this movie is not about Darth Vader, and that's why it's so good. And the next movie in the series, the movie leads on 10 minutes, and then there's the next movie. Like that's how it works. That's how in the chronological order of the movies. That's how it works. And so basically, you watch this movie, and then the next movie is completely about Darth Vader.
And that's what I find interesting, because they found a lot of people found it interesting that like they literally killed off all the people. Like you think like a Star Wars film, it's very rare that they kill off someone. They usually kill off someone who's like usually the Jedi Master or some shit. Say like Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan and but that's the thing. Like he was still kind of like a mentor for Rey in a way.
Yeah.
So like it's usually the mentor type character that dies. Yet everyone in this film dies.
And like you don't see it coming unless you know it's coming.
And I found it interesting to see, like my younger brother was very concerned. He's like the film's kind of spoiled because you know they all die. But the thing is that A, does everyone die, and B, how do they die? You know, it's not the film's not about like it's not about this group of people that died. It's the fact that it's about this group of people who got this who got the plans for this Death Star, what they sacrificed to share it. And I found it really interesting how they killed them all off. I mean,
it was just most of them got killed in the giant.
The two protagonists, the guy
when
and the girl.
when the robot died, it's really sad because you see him like say goodbye.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff,
He
and,
says goodbye. He knows he's gonna
That was
die.
the only one that had like a good amount of gravity to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest felt so quick, and I almost didn't care about most of those deaths.
but when
Yeah, that's the thing though, because you don't have a lot of emotional attachment to the characters.
You only see them like for 1 minute for like one movie, and you only see them for like a little bit each time, and then suddenly they're gone.
The blind guy, the blind Jedi,
Yeah.
and
with
the guy that's
forces
the
with me and that, like
those
I
two,
wanted
their
Force-
relationship
Forces
was
with me.
so realistic.
Yeah.
So it was like that was probably what actually,
those two were really human and like
and that was what made their deaths more impactful because of the fact that they're actually.
I still can't name either of them.
No, I can't name anyone in the
Yeah.
film whatsoever except like Darth
I
Vader.
had to look on Tumblr to find an actual post of all the characters' names, so I was just like, okay, I still don't remember.
But yeah, I mean, but like the main two characters are kind of go who just they're
Babies.
hugging on the beach as the fire wave comes
Yeah.
to obliterate them.
Yeah.
There's two things that I find wrong with that scene. One, it's not exactly what I find wrong with it, but it's actually there's an Aussie film called These Final Hours, which is about the sun crashing into the earth, exploding and vaporizing the earth. And the final shot of that film, so can't spoil it, is identical to this final shot. It just has different layers of emotion attached to it for who the characters are and how they're related.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought of when I saw this final shot with these two characters. I'm like, okay, that reminds me of this other film, which I didn't find too bad. Like, it still seems kind of fitting. The only problem was that the character, if you notice, you look at the guy, and just before the blast kills him, he actually, because they've both got the clothes and their eyes hugging, and then he opens his eyes and he looks in a different direction. I'm like, why does he do that? It's kind of weird. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. That was just something that just caught me off. I'm like, there's something off about that. But still, it's not a big deal. But what about other film deaths? I like
Film deaths.
I have to mention this.
I mean,
death in the Marvel universe. They
Marvel.
barely kill anyone off.
Yeah, because they want
The only
they're
person-
too valuable.
Yeah,
All the
exactly.
characters,
The
and everyone
last
wants to
person I
keep
thought,
doing.
what was the last person they properly killed off? Like the last big person that killed off. Quicksilver, and he wasn't even that big a character.
Yeah, oh jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
yeah, that's like the only one they've killed. Like for example, Suicide Squad is a lot of death and stuff, and
It really isn't. It's more of the death like mindless death. Like they kill off Slipknot,
Yeah.
and nobody gives a shit because they don't even know who he is.
He was just meant to die.
It's
just
like
for
his
the
abilities
purpose
that
of the
he can
story.
climb buildings.
he was an actual villain in like all the comic books and stuff.
Yeah,
but, like,
he's like one of those. It's one of those things where they get really good comic book characters and they just don't give a shit about them.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
They don't
to be
get-
fair, I
they
didn't
don't-
know who Slipknot was before I watched the film, and I
I
missed
don't
his
know
name when I
such.
saw the film.
Yeah,
It was
I missed his name when I saw the
I
film,
was
but
like,
I knew he was by watching the
Oh,
trailer.
he's
and
dead
that
now,
research
wow.
on the film. Yeah. But
But
Yeah, see, one thing with some of these movie deaths is you often see that it's basically the actor doesn't want to do the film anymore. But in the case of Han Solo,
yeah, Han Solo didn't want to do.
he didn't want to do the film since he didn't actually want to do them any after the fourth one. So he actually planned that. He was like, "Can you kill me off?"
mean
in
Star
the,
Wars?
the original
first one.
the original trilogy. He wanted
What
Han
do you
Solo
mean?
to die.
I mean, A New Hope. That's why I call it the first one because it's the first one.
well, you said fourth. Sorry, I was a bit confused there.
It is the first and fourth one. That's the problem.
You can just say Star Wars.
So in A New Hope, after it, the Harrison Ford didn't actually want to continue it. So, but George Lucas was like, "Oh, you got him in the next one. It'll be cool." Like, and it's like, "All right, only if you kill me off at the end." So hence why he was crystallized at the end. And of course, they still came back for the next one.
Yeah.
But
Oh, boy.
he probably got a big paycheck for the
Oh,
next
yeah,
one,
no.
so that's why he
Yeah,
came
that's
back.
Probably, and back then he probably needed it because he started out as like a janitor, didn't he? That was like a
he
weird
used to
story.
be carpenter to support his family.
Yeah.
He went back to doing carpentry even after he went.
Wow.
Yeah.
He had a period there where he retired as an actor,
Mm.
and he did actually a lot of carpentry. And then, as of like the recent decade, he's come back into filming, come back into acting.
Yeah.
So he was
Because he's
then
doing
Indiana
new Indiana Jones and
Yeah.
all
new
that.
Star Wars.
He's
a lot of
Anything
films.
else?
He's redoing his old
Yes.
characters as old men. basically.
He's been in a lot of films. So he was in a film called Age of Adeline. He played characters now. So he's been in a lot of films since.
Yeah, it's cool.
But like, he's always been like in and out of films.
Is he reprising
He
his role in Blade Runner? The new?
Yes.
new one? Oh,
He's
wow.
in Blade Runner as well. Which is another feeling. Like, the idea of death when you can replace body parts with technology and when you can put someone on the machine or kill them with cancer, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, when death isn't
A thing anymore.
What
Well,
would
death isn't always the answer. You can get rid of death and replace it with...
like? Good question. What will the world be like when death is no longer a thing?
Overpopulated.
So we have to spread out and like explore.
I think death should
we-
always be a thing, to be honest. I know that sounds shitty as it is, but like,
People.
you know, it's not like I'm saying like make room for other people. I'm saying like, you know, you've got a life, live it, and then you die. It's simple as that. Some people die too soon, yes. Some people die too late.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of
may
people
seem
die
a
too
bit-
soon.
Yeah,
A lot of
too
people
many
die too
people
soon.
die too soon. It's just interesting how they aspect. I mean, there's I was watching what's the philosophy of Fallout 4 video the other day.
Oh no! Don't play it, please.
By the way,
Just like
what did you watch the video?
no. Just Fallout 4 in general. Don't play the main storyline. And
I haven't finished it
Like,
yet.
it was
I
mainly
haven't
talk-
finished it yet. Please don't spoil it.
It was mainly
I'll
talking about the
leave
thing.
just-
It was mainly talking about the thing with the Sims.
I'll leave.
No,
it's like
I'm not
we're just talking
I'm not
about
going to
Sims.
spoil the story. I'm just talking about Sims.
Goodbye. I quit. No.
But
Sit your ass down.
just like all Bethesda games, the story in the game, the main storyline in most Bethesda games is just terrible.
But we're not talking about the main story. The idea, what I'm trying to talk about is the discrimination against the Sims and how there was the Brotherhood of Steel
Yeah.
hate the synthetic
Yes.
humans.
Because all robots should be under the control of humanity.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be having
But then there's also the kind of irony of the fact, like, because they don't like it for the aspect of like they don't like humans who are given robot parts and stuff like that. You know, you should if you like you lose a limb, you should
Brotherhood of
have
Steel.
a limb lost kind of thing. But the funny thing, the kind of irony of that is the fact that they wear power armor, which doesn't just enable one of the characters to walk, who I think has their legs, but also
That's the
it
one I
amplifies their durability, their strength, and their intelligence, and all kinds of stuff. So it's like
Brotherhood of
it's
Steel
just
always
interesting.
they're okay with any kind of technology as long as it's under the control of the humans.
Okay, yeah.
It doesn't matter who it is, who's got it or something. It's just got to be under the control.
It
of
makes you
humans.
think. What do you guys think of that? Like, do you think like we should be okay with cyborgs and shit like that? Like,
Like, there's already cyborgs.
Yeah, there was already cyborgs.
Yeah.
You've got people who've lost their arms who get
People
them back.
with pacemakers
Pacemakers
are
are
technically cyborgs.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Being willing to change your batteries each day.
But what do you think about the idea of getting rid of death as a whole? Like, should it be a thing?
Eventually.
Eventually.
Like, the human
It's-
brain will give
yeah.
out eventually.
Yeah. The human brain.
I don't think. I personally I don't think that death should be getting rid of. But if there's like the kind of idea, because I've heard people say like that they want their like consciousness put into like a computer.
Oh boy.
I'm like,
Not a good premise.
that I could do. That I could get behind. Like, because it's still preserving you and your memories.
But it's
But is
still
it really you?
technically you.
It's not the idea of that's the thing though. Like, it's not for me. It's not the idea of is it still technically you. Like, if I had my memory put into a computer, and my it obviously wouldn't be my consciousness. It would just be my memory. I just want people to be able to like look over my life. Because
No one wants to look over that.
I know. It's
Yeah.
just that kind of idea of that it's preserved. Like a lot
Yeah,
of people write
it's
books
your
about
memory.
their lives, so their memory is preserved. And so it's just that kind of thing. It's not like the idea of like, oh, I want my consciousness, my memory, my consciousness to be put into a robot, where I might not even be conscious. Like this, one of the characters again in Fallout is actually a robot who has his previous identity. And when he finds out that he's not actually the same person that he used to be, he doesn't know what to do. He completely questions his reality. Like, what the hell am I going to do?
Like,
Back when it was reality.
if I got all of what's in my head in a robot, would that still be me?
Yeah. I don't think it would.
I don't think it would, but it's also the aspect of how much of it do you still want to be you? Like, if it was me putting it into a computer, I just want it to be my memories. I wouldn't want it to be like an actual robot walking around. I'd probably just want it to be like storage in a computer, like
Just
in a
like
fucking
how
library
you'd
kind
store
of
it.
thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like, I'd be cool with that. I wouldn't want to be put into a robotic body. I mean, I hate wearing glasses, and that's an enhancement as it is, but only to adjust for the fact that my eyes are poor.
Okay.
So it's not really an enhancement at the same time. But like, it's just like, if I can't put up with the fact that I wear glasses every day, how the fuck am I going to put up with the fact that I literally don't have my own legs anymore, or my own arms, you know?
I mean, you just sort of have them and you wouldn't need to eat or sleep.
Again,
so
this
that'd
is,
be nice.
yes, that would be very nice, and I have to ever sleep again. I hate sleep. But, it's just, I guess it's just that idea. I mean, this is just my own personal opinion on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else should we talk about? Death. Because it's surprisingly how there's a lot to talk about death, like the philosophies behind it and all kinds of things. Like,
I have nothing else to really say.
I'm not sure I have anything else to say other. I mean, you know.
I guess we could go back to exploring death in media. I guess.
Death. We've talked a lot about death in media. And all spot of
how about the
Star Wars
complete-
Rogue One.
How about
TV
the
spot.
complete representation of death in media, like say TV shows and stuff like that are more realistic, that aren't space operas and whatever, you know, that actually are realistic TV shows, like shows that actually look at people who have like say certain disorders and whatnot, or who are bipolar or whatever, and you know that how they approach death.
So one thing that always confused me about death, like maybe in real life and in media, is like people always use the term dead instantly, or like if someone falls off a building they were dead on impact, but how instantly are we talking about? Like when is someone really dead?
I think it's that
That's
idea.
one thing.
I think when they do that, they usually see it just to benefit the person. Like they didn't struggle, that it wasn't a bad thing, you know. I guess it's kind of the idea of like just when. Well, it's just as easy as turning off the light switch. I think that's what they're trying to say.
But when you classify as dead when your heart stops, like
Really? That's not.
when your
I
heart
think
stops.
it's more of actually when your brain just dies.
Yeah.
No, but like
When
you
yourself-
can have a brain that it doesn't function properly and still be technically alive.
So how do you qualify yourself as dead?
When you're
Heart stops beating does sound like a good way of putting it, because if there's no blood, there's no oxygen to the brain, and that means it dies. But the thing is, you can have parts of the brain still be working, or parts of the brain could just be dormant.
I mean, look,
It's
even
still
in
technically
in
alive.
zombie shows, they have it as like as the living dead, and it's because something in their brain is still working,
yeah.
and even though like the heart's not working, all kinds of stuff. So it's just.
That's weird.
What about the idea of how they represent like resurrections from the dead, like zombies and stuff like that? Because like a lot of people
Don't
go on.
resurrect people from the dead.
A lot of people,
Like,
well, even the aspect of like a lot of people go on about like, oh, I want to live forever. I'm like, why? What's the benefit of living forever?
I mean, if you want to work at something for like all of eternity, like if you want to learn how to play keyboard,
Playing the perfect.
it helps if you want to play. If we want to play keyboard and you just want to do it really good, but it helps if you live forever. Like
Or
cultivating
if you can
skills.
just learn something really easily, or if you dedicate a lot of time to say like a year or two
Just-
to learning piano.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a sad time when we find like immortality pill and someone just buys it and sells it for like $1 million.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a horrible time when that happens.
Well, I mean, look, a lot of people make conspiracy theories that like that they actually cured cancer a long time ago, but they just won't give it to the public, so then the public will, like the poor people. Will
What about all
and
those
the rich
actors
people will
with
get
cancer
richer.
that like died of cancer?
They're living with Elvis and Hitler.
Futurama. Head to the jar.
Terrible idea.
Yeah,
Such a terrible idea.
literally, it's like being disabled. Wow.
I got John
Yeah,
Scott.
I'll stop that
The headless body of Agnew.
because, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure anyone. Some people would not willingly choose to be a head in a jar.
I
Because
don't.
you need help from everyone.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd want to, but how the hell would that even work? I don't think there's any science to it.
There is. They like, for example, in the good old Russian. No, a Russian scientist brought a dead dog's head back to life, just by pumping the fluid that it's needed into it.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I've heard of that actually. That's
But
awesome.
was it back to life? That's
Yeah,
the real question.
it was responding to sounds.
And the one thing
smells.
that I'm most confused about, wait, would it have the same memories? Or was it good? Because like if you didn't give the brain enough oxygen, it just sort of died.
Yeah,
But the brain was still working.
yeah, it was still alive technically.
Yeah.
And then they did the same thing where they sewed a dog's head onto another dog,
Yeah, wow.
like as in a dog with two heads, and it still was alive.
I'm not even gonna ask how they did that. That's just some crazy.
That's kind of disturbing in a way. Like it's kind of like the idea of like, would you do that to a human? Like, would you if their head was still alive but the rest of their body was dead? Would you
there
put their
is
head onto another body?
A doctor planning to do a full body transplant or a head transplant,
Yeah.
where they get two people, one disabled, one donating their body or something,
Yeah.
and they're gonna just swap heads, and one of them was like mostly disabled, and one of them's dying of something or something like that. I don't really know. But like, they're doing a full body transplant.
How about death over time? Like say like how people touched on the idea of death such a long time ago, like back in like the medieval era or stuff like that. Like Burn the Witch and stuff like that. Like their value for life wasn't probably so strong.
No. Like,
but at the same time, they probably still had
got-
like the same aspects of like I have to make sure that my house is running. I have to make sure that we have food to eat for dinner. They still have the same basic human instincts.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, Christian values were a lot bigger back then. Well, I wouldn't say they're even bigger now, but they basically said, you know, it's fine. It's fine to die so long as you're a member of the church because you go to the afterlife, and everyone was okay with that.
Yeah, that was a big thing back then. I mean, it's still kind of.
And that's why, you know, when you excommunicate someone, you're literally like killing them, basically.
So if you were ever to kill someone, what would you use?
a small
Nothing.
hamster.
Because I don't want to kill anyone.
A small hamster.
Hey Rex.
You get a small hamster. You get its teeth and you just go in the throat and then blame the hamster. The hamster jumped out and killed him.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually possible.
Well, I've tried myself.
Right. I think we'll end this episode here.
I think it should have probably ended ages ago.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of cutting out random just blank bits.
Probably not. Probably the whole thing in.
Oh dear God.
It's usually the quirk of this show. Thank you also so much for watching. Schmidlab,
Thank
Pink
you very
Salad,
much.
Mindless. Sure. I'm gonna do that every time.
Please don't.
I won't.
Nah.
Thank you all so much for watching Death.
Yes,
I guess hope we haven't offended anyone, but it's still a topic we should talk about.
yeah.
Look up philosophies and other stuff on death. Yeah. Yeah.
Please subscribe for more.
Yeah. Subscribe for more anti-religious behavior. Anyway, this has been another episode of the Mindless Show. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Wave good. Can you not dab every fucking time we end an episode?